Alright then, so currently we're taking all of the chat data that we get from the database and we're outputting it right here, which is good. But at the minute, this date looks a little unsightly. This is not typically the type of date format we'd see in a chat room. So I want to make this look a little bit nicer, and to do that, we're going to be using that date FNS library that I showed you back in the date chapter. So first of all, we need a CDN link to this library. So I'm going to go over to the course files, the modern JavaScript repo, and select lesson 143 from the branch dropdown. Then go into chat project, then into the index file, and at the bottom down here we have this script to the date FNS library. So just copy that and paste it over here. And now we have that inside our index file above the rest of the scripts. It means that we can use date FNS in the other scripts. So we're outputting the date over here inside the UI file, inside the UI class. So this is where we want to format the date a bit better. So currently we're outputting the date here, and it's just that big long date object string. So let's instead now get a constant and call this when, and set it equal to date FNS. Then we're going to use a method called distance in words to now, and this method basically gives us some kind of relative time format. So it will say something like 3 minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago, or 2 hours ago, or 3 days ago. So a relative format, which is the time in words between when the message was created and now. Now this method, like I said, is called distance in words to now, and this takes in a couple of different arguments. Now I'm going to enter down just so it's more readable and enter these arguments on the next line. So the first one is going to be the date object. Now that is just this thing right here. So I'm going to cut that and I'm going to paste that in right here. So that's the date object that we're passing in. And now if I was to output when down here instead, which is the constant that we just created up here, then it's going to look a lot better already. So let me save that and check it out. And now we can see this thing, 1 day, 1 day. So that's saying that we did this 1 day ago. However, it would be nice if we had a little suffix at the end to say ago or something like that. So to do that, we have to pass through a second argument, and this is an optional object that is going to be the options for this method. Now one of those options is going to be the add suffix property, and we're going to set this to true, and that adds that little word onto the end. So if I save this now and preview, we can see 1 day ago, 1 day ago. So this now gives us a much nicer format for the time. Okay, so while we're here, I just want to do a couple of things to the style just to make this look a little bit better. First of all, I'm going to take the username and I'm going to set the font-weight to bold. And remember, the username is this thing right here. So I'm setting that to bold. Now I'm going to take the time, which is the other div inside this template down here, and I'm going to style that as well. So I'll say first of all the font-size is going to be 0.7 ems. That just makes it a little smaller, and also the color is going to be 999, so a different shade of grey. Now let me save this and let's view this. This looks a bit better now. We have the name in bold, the message just in normal text, and then the time a bit smaller and a bit more faded. So the next step is to be able to add new chats down here. So if I type something like hello and press enter, then nothing really happens. It just refreshes the page because that's the default behavior of web forms. So we're going to take a look at how we can actually send new chats in the next lecture.